Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Just 4 Manchester United stars are viewed as being untouchable in the summer transfer window. The Red Devils are gearing up for a busy off-season after a miserable campaign under Ruben Amorim. Sunday's 4-3 defeat to Brentford has left Amorim's men a dreadful 15th in the Premier League table. A huge overhaul is coming this summer with Amorim desperate for players who fit into his 3-4-2-1 system. But the club's precarious financial position means that sales will be needed before serious investment can be made in signings. A number of stars already appear to have one foot through the exit door. Antony and Marcus Rashford have made it clear they are ready to leave Old Trafford. Several others are on the verge of being pushed out by Amorim and United chiefs as they look to bring down their ballooning wage bill. It appears that United chiefs are ready to be even more ruthless than many expected they might be. With the Red Devils needing to sell, it has now emerged that only 4 players are certain to stay. That is according to the Daily Star, who report that United are willing to sell most members of the current squad. The club are said to be desperate to meet financial spending rules, while also being able to supply Amorim with the funds necessary to make new signings. As a result, only captain Bruno Fernandes, veteran defender Harry Maguire, young attacker Ahmad and January signing Patrick Dorgu are immune from the fire sale. The quartet will not depart, no matter the fee offered. But if the price is right, Kobbie Mainoo, Luke Shaw, Manuel Ugarte, Casemiro, Rasmus Højlund, Matthijs de Ligt, Joshua Zirkzee and Christian Eriksen could all be sold in this summer's window. Alejandro Garnacho is another that could be moved on, with the report adding, United would be happy to sanction a sale if their £65 million valuation is met. Chelsea are one of the clubs in the running to sign the Argentine forward, but the player would need assurances from Blues boss Maresca that he is central to his plans. For now, Amorim's focus is on winning the Europa League and with it securing qualification for the Champions League. He named United's youngest ever Premier League side for the defeat to Brentford and hinted those in the academy could play a big role next season. It's really important. They have to understand in this season is really important, and also to understand that we cannot do this anymore. Of course, we know the context, but this kind of season, we need to change that, he said. They need to understand what it is to play for Manchester United. I think they did really well. They are not playing so much, but then they have to play 90 minutes because we have to change some other players to save them for Thursday. And I think we can help even more the young kids, especially Tyrell Fredrickson. He did quite well, but for the third goal, he needs more help from Ahmad. So, with these small things, I think we can help them more, but I'm really happy with the performance of the young kids. Yeah, it's really important because you can train a lot with the first team, but to have that feeling, playing with the players, feeling the players, the speed of the game, I think is the best thing. Manchester United are interested in recruiting towering Bayer Leverkusen centre-back Jonathan Tah on a free transfer this summer. The 6 feet 3 inches German received healthy praise from the boss of arch-rivals Liverpool, Arne Slot, last year for his Champions League exploits. Having conceded a subpar 51 goals already in the Premier League this season, an area that Ruben Amorim's bottom-half side will be looking to improve when the transfer window swings open, will be the heart of defence. While Lenny Yoro and Matthijs de Ligt were purchased during the last summer window for hefty fees, Amorim's system requires a trio of competent centre-halves. The now sidelined Aiden Heaven and Tyrell Fredrickson have been called upon in recent fixtures as young, inexperienced deputies, with injuries mounting and depth shallow. One name that the Red Devils find themselves linked with is Leverkusen's Tah, a steadfast colossus of a defender who aided in his team's unbeaten Bundesliga campaign last term. The 29-year-old German is out of contract this summer, and various suitors across Europe, including United, are swarming for the man whom Reds boss Slot altered his lineup for and praised after a Champions League outing. According to Sky Sports, with Tah's current deal coming to an end and a new one not yet signed, Amorim's United are one of many teams who admire the defender. It is also thought that both Barcelona and Real Madrid hold a genuine interest in recruiting Tar, but any move to the no camp may be hindered by financial issues. Should Tar arrive in the Premier League, he'd once again face off against Slot's Liverpool, whom he and Leverkusen clashed with last year in the Champions League. It was during this November 2024 fixture, a group phase match that ended in a 4-0 Liverpool thrashing, that Slot complimented Tar and even admitted that, despite a convincing win, he shuffled his team around to better deal with the centre-back. I think Tar, who is a really good defender and is one of the best defenders in Germany. Maybe the best defender in Germany maybe likes to play more against a target man, someone who's there in the middle, said Slot. We chose to play Lucho Luis Diaz more from the left or the midfield, and then maybe surprise him afterwards with runs in behind not only him, but in general. The Red Devils are currently wallowing in the top flight's bottom half and have a potential Europa League win as their only means of securing European football next term. Yet Amorim does not fear that there'll be a lack of wanting recruits in the transfer market. It's Manchester United, said Amorim when asked about the pull his club has in the transfer window. What I feel is there are a lot of players who want to play for our club. I know that if you look at our club in the moment, with all the problems with the staff and people going, changing coach and the results, it looks like a little bit of a problem. But we have a clear idea. That is the easiest part to explain to a player. Then it is Manchester United. Everyone wants to play for Manchester United. Wayne Rooney has given a scathing assessment of Manchester United under Ruben Amorim after their 4-3 defeat by Brentford on Sunday. Amorim picked an inexperienced team to face the Bees and saw his side beaten for the 16th time in the Premier League this season. Brentford raced into a 4-1 lead before United scored 2 late goals to close the gap. But it was ultimately another disappointing day for Amorim and his players. They have now gone 6 league games without a win and sit 15th in the Premier League table. With Thursday's Europa League semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao the clear priority, Amorim named the 3rd youngest Premier League starting 18th of any club. Youngsters Chido Obi Martin, Harry Amas and Tyler Fredrickson were all handed opportunities but did not impress. However, United legend Rooney was more critical of Amorim and the more experienced players who were out there. Speaking on Match of the Day too, he called out Kobbie Mainoo for switching off for 2 of Brentford's goals, and Amorim for fielding substitute Amad Diallo out of position at right wing-back, and for putting a disjointed team together, which put no pressure on the ball and lacked intensity. Expanding on Rooney's points, ex-Liverpool midfielder Danny Murphy said, "It is about intensity, but with wing-backs, different to a back 4, it allows you to go and press, because you've got the extra centre-half behind you. But surely that's what they do in training, no? If you're a coach of a system, the basics of this system with wing-backs is they press the wide men quick, and it doesn't look like they're doing it. It's bizarre for me to see." Rooney replied, "It's strange, because that's why you play a back 5 with wing-backs. They have to put pressure on the ball, or otherwise you get outnumbered in the midfield, and the ball comes back into midfield. It was strange, but they had a lot of young players. There was a lack of movement and a lack of know-how on the pitch," he added. "They've got a 17-year-old lad up front, the youngest ever to start up front for United, and they're just launching balls up to him. I really felt for Obi today, because you can tell he's inexperienced, but it looked like he had no help. They were just throwing balls up to him." Murphy added, "I get that there's young players, I understand that, and they're playing against good teams. But Amorim only plays one system. He's not mixing things up, personnel and system, and he's been there a while now. When you play a system that much and you work on it in training, surely we can see more improvement, irrelevant of who is playing, because they should be organised in that system." Rooney responded, "You'd think so, but I think the second team are playing a back 4, which I found strange, because those players who are coming into the first team now with the under-23s or under-21s are playing a different system. For me, that's a bit confusing. Getting to the Europa League final is papering over a lot of cracks for Manchester United, and that needs solving quickly."